Kat and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making black-eyed pea soup. So yesterday I bought some dried black-eyed peas at the grocery store. We have a big snowstorm coming, so I'm going to make a huge stock pot of soup to get ready for the storm. So overnight I soaked 1 pound, it was a 2-pound bag, I soaked 1 pound of black-eyed peas in water just per the instructions that were on the bag. So just follow the instructions on your dried beans, soak them overnight. So I have my black-eyed peas here, and I didn't make a broth or anything in advance. I'm just going to throw 2 vegan bouillon cubes in my stock pot, and I'm going to break them up a little bit when I throw them in. Clean hands, always, when you're cooking. And we're going to put, so I've crumbled those up, and I'm going to add some water, 8 cups of water, and we'll see if this is enough. My stock pot is only about halfway full, so I'm going to add, it's going to boil off, and we want to make sure that we leave room for all the vegetables and stuff that we're going to add. So that is another 6 cups of water in here, and I'll probably put in another cup. So I'm going to turn this on high. We're going to get that going. The first thing I'm going to add is I have 5 Idaho potatoes here, peeled and cubed. Rinse them first, wash them good, peel them, cube them. I also have 1 yellow onion chopped, and not very small, just like regular size pieces. So I'm going to dump that in. The potatoes take the longest to cook. So I'm going to put that in. And I'm also going to go ahead and add, this is about 4 large cloves garlic, just chopped. I am a big advocate of garlic. So I've got my bouillon cubes in there, got my garlic, my onions, my potatoes. I'm going to put in some more salt. You want to make sure, one of the things I've noticed, you want to use plenty of salt when you're cooking vegetarian food. You have to keep in mind that meat is salty. So one thing I've noticed is that whenever I have soups that are made by non-vegetarians, I can tell right away because they're not usually salty enough. So you have to make sure you add plenty of salt, and don't be afraid to try your broth and see if it tastes good. I mean, don't stick your spoon back in there, but taste it. You need to make sure that what you're serving tastes good. So I'm going to put in 2 bay leaves. And I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of oil. This is just canola oil. And that's about 1/2 cup. Okay, I'm not going to put in my other spices and stuff just yet. I'm just going to turn this up on high, and I'm going to cover it. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and when I have it at a boil for about 15 minutes, then I'm going to add the other vegetables. And over here I have peeled and chopped 6 carrots, just regular size carrots, and also 5 celery stalks. So we'll add those after about 15 minutes, and then we'll let the soup boil another 45, and then we'll throw in, actually at the same time as we do that, we'll add the rest of our spices, and then at the end, for like the last 15 minutes or so, we'll add, this is 1 large tomato, just in chunks. And that's probably it on the oil. I don't think we're going to need any more oil than that. So, over here I have paprika, parsley, thyme, oregano, dill weed, basil, white pepper, and black pepper. So those are going to be the ingredients of my soup. And I will let you guys know when I add those so you can see what I put in. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes. So it's been about 15 minutes, and my soup is in a roaring boil. It smells amazing in here. I really wish that there was a way to translate the smell of my kitchen to you guys, but there's not. So I'm going to stir this up. I just turned down the heat a little bit. I'm just going to give this a stir. The broth is looking kind of cloudy, and I think that's because of the potatoes and the black-eyed peas. So I'm going to add my root vegetables here. Just throw those in. And give that a good stir. So it's already kind of stopped boiling a little bit, which is fine because we really want to leave this on a simmer for like the next probably 40 minutes or so. Maybe not even quite that long. The potatoes are getting kind of tender already. Okay, so I'm going to put in some parsley, dried parsley. Probably put in about a tablespoon of that. Bay leaf I'm done with. Just a little bit of paprika, dash. Some thyme. Not too much on the thyme either. I don't know, that's maybe like a half a teaspoon, not even. I put some black pepper in it before. A little basil. Probably a teaspoon of that. Some dill weed. Just a little bit. It smells good. And I'm going to put some white pepper. I like the kick of white pepper. I think it tastes really good with potatoes. And maybe some more black pepper. I prefer fresh ground black pepper. I really don't like using pre-ground black pepper. But my pepper grinder is broken, so that's that. This smells really good. And I think that should be okay on the seasonings. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe some more paprika. I'm going to put a little bit more salt in too. I'll have to taste it in a little bit here and see how it's going. Thinking a little bit more paprika. Maybe a little bit more white pepper. And more parsley. Can't really have too much of that. I mean, you can, but... And that should be good. I'll let this, it's coming back to a boil now. So I'm going to bring it back to a boil, and then just going to stir it again here. Bring it back to a boil, and then I'm going to reduce it to a simmer. I'm going to let it simmer for about 35 minutes. Covered. And then we'll go from there. So it's coming together. Soups do take a long time. The majority of the meals I like to prepare, I typically want them to be start to finish 30 minutes. It's one of my goals of this video log and just of life in general, to show people that it can be really easy to eat healthy food. And I guess easy doesn't always have to be quick, but most of us are pretty busy in our daily lives these days, so quick definitely helps. Soups are not something that you can really make very fast. I have one soup that's a great quick recipe that I'll show you at some point, but you know, if you're working from home one day, or you get home a little bit early, or I actually really like to make soups on the weekends, on Sundays or something, so that you have it for the whole week. This is going to make a large quantity of soup, so you can freeze it or put it in individual containers, so that your family can take them with them for lunch. So we're just going to bring this back to a boil, and then we're going to let it simmer for 35 minutes, and then we'll be back and we'll add the tea. Okay, YouTube foodies, it has been about 30 minutes. My soup has been simmering here. It smells, looks, and feels like it's pretty much ready. So I'm going to throw in these tomatoes. It actually really doesn't even need them, but I already cut them up, so I'm going to put them in. So I'm going to throw those in. Stir this up really good. Right now, and for about the last half an hour, my stock pot has been on like medium heat. And I did not end up covering it. I left it uncovered. I wanted to kind of let some of the liquid boil off. So now the tomatoes are in there, and I'm going to keep them in there for about 15 more minutes, and then it's pretty much going to be ready to serve. So we'll be back in 15 minutes. So it's only been about 5 minutes, but my tomatoes are looking like they're pretty cooked, and everything else is as well. So I've actually turned off the heat, and I'm going to just let my soup sit here for about 10 more minutes, and just let the tomatoes cook themselves in the broth. So I'll leave that sit. I'm going to cover it. My partially cover it. I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. And then it'll pretty much be ready to go. So as far as soups go, this one's fairly simple. It's been an hour. By the time the 10 minutes are up, it's been an hour since I started making it. So that's not bad. So anyway, we'll be back. So here's the soup, and as you can see, there's really good color. We've got the black-eyed peas, potatoes, carrots, celery, and tomatoes. You could top this with some green onion if you wanted, but I don't have any. Let's see here. Did it turn out? We'll find out. Tasty. So thanks for coming by Kat's Kitchen once again. I'm very pleased with how my black-eyed pea soup turned out. I think the white pepper was really the key. It added a really nice spice to it and a richness that I was looking for in my soup. So it's starting to really storm here. It's snowing and blowing a lot outside, and I think I'm going to curl up with my soup and a blanket and a good book and call it a day. So thanks for stopping by Kat's Kitchen. Stay tuned for more easy vegan meals.